Welcome back to comics, to Hot Comics TV, and the Fantastic Four Omnibus. My goodness, this book, how heavy. It's not that heavy, actually. The masterpiece by the master, the king of kings of comics, Jack the King Kirby, and Stan Lee. So, this is the beginning. This is the middle of the Silver Age of comics. I think what the gossip is, or what it's in the commentary about this series, is that somebody at Marvel, might have been Stan Lee, was the one that saw the sales from DC Comics, and they saw that their competition was doing very well with, I think, Justice League. So they went into task to create a superhero team. And this is what they came up with. And let's all face it, that it's not just the creation of Stan Lee's creation. This is also the architect of all of this is Jack Kirby. But you had to have that synergy. I think that one without the other, things would have not been what we ended up getting. So I cannot take the position that a lot of people go, Stan Lee just wrote dialogue and Jack was creating everything. So I cannot get into that conversation. I gotta give them both credit equally. I wish that would have been the case for Jack, because Jack was not given as much credit until later on in his career. But anyway, these are not things that I want to get into. So this is the Omnibus. This is quite nice collection. I got this because the access that I had for this when I was a little kid, I did have the access to the originals, but life gets in the way, I guess, of things. So I ended up getting this collection of the Omnibus, which is quite nice. Nice paper. And it's got literally the entire run. There's a Taschen, I can't remember the German publisher. They did a deluxe collection of this. And it's even got the advertisements of the magazines, of the comics. And what a thing to do, very faithful graphic design to it. I don't know if I'm ever going to go that route, because we're talking about at least $200 something for like a big volume, but very deluxe sort of thing. But I think that this was the thing that I went with, and we'll see later on. Who knows? Anyway, that's not diminishing anything from the Omnibus. This is a nice collection. And they got these very nice. I like to think that this is a really nice reproduction, because they got very nice flat colors, which I really love and adore on comics in general. I think this is the way that we should still be doing comics. I don't like modern color palettes that are a little too intrusive for the art, and this is complementary to the artwork. So this is 61, and Jack, even though that is Jack at the full top of his game, he's still doing things that don't have the Jack Kirby style. I'm looking at the portraits. They look very different to what I remember when Fantastic Four was. And it's by far, to me, my favorite superhero team. I didn't feel the same with Justice League or the Avengers or the X-Men. To me, this was a more cohesive team. maybe because they're working on operating like a family sort of thing, and Ben Grimm is always scuffling with Johnny, always having an argument about silly things. And yeah, a throwback to the 60s, huh? So they all get hit by the cosmic storm, and they ended up having side effects when they land, and they develop superpowers. Johnny ignites, and he becomes the second Human Torch. Because the original Human Torch is an android that fought Nazis during World War II with Namor, the Submariner. And Mr. Fantastic is just like, I don't know, an analog to Fantastic Girl or Elastic Girl or Elastic Man. So yeah, these beautiful panels. I don't understand. Sometimes I get commentary. I hear people talking about in a very negative way about Jack Kirby, that they don't understand the artwork, they don't like the character design. And I look at this, and this is extremely modern. That's the other comment. It's outdated. And can it be outdated? Jack Kirby is by far one of the most important comic book creators, artist on his own right, and creating the whole Marvel universe. It's, yeah. And this is how they should start the movies. If they were to tackle this film that's been so problematic for the studios, they should have done the genesis of the whole thing in the way that they've done it in here. And I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, enough negative commentary. Look at this, how fantastic and awesome this is. Three-headed gargoyle, dragon, the mole man, Sue Storm, just amazing. So this is at the time when monsters starting to become more fun, and due to the code of authority that destroyed the comic book industry at that stage, or set the comic book industry maybe 10 to 20 years behind it. Sort of, they had to regret to silly gag comics and romance comics. Jack did a whole run of romance comics because they couldn't do what they were trying to do with superheroes. But this stuck on the imagination of a whole generation of fans. Flawless cartooning. This is just the way you should do comics. So they're encountering the Fantastic Four, encountering the Mole Man and his minions. Look at that, the scroll. For an outer space. The whole notion as well is that this is the 60s. We're talking about sending men to the moon and all of that other space race. The Cold War is at its height of things, and this is the nuclear family dealing with that. This is just amazing. This is one of my backlog of books that I want to get back to reading again, because I did read them when I was a little kid, but now, yeah, not enough time. 6th grade panel. Very clean reads. To me, this feels more that it's Jack is falling on the line of more of EC style of comics, because Ben is still very monstrous, a monster-like figure. The scroll looked more menacing. I mean, it's got all the ticks that Jack does. The heavy shadows, the heavy brushstroke. Amazing, just amazing. It's all science fiction shenanigans, which is awesome. We have a information card for Ben Grimm. That's awesome. Miracle Man? What? Makes an appearance in it? No. Oh, Miracle Man. That's a book we have to talk about, huh? Oh, the Baxter Building. Oh, what? This is amazing. I love this. This is the sort of thing I love. Isometric sort of drawings of interiors of buildings. Just awesome stuff. Another monster. Wow. It's like the character design that he's done. It's amazing. There's so much material, good, amazing, outstanding material for Fantastic Four, and they haven't been able to do one successful movie out of this franchise. It's infuriating, isn't it? Just amazing, just awesome work. Namor, his shenanigans. He's always kidnapping. What do you call it? Sue Storm's hilarious Invisible Woman. He's just always kidnapping her. Good old Namor. Just awesome. Just outstanding stuff. I don't know how available the book is right now. I bought this. I don't know when it came out, but I bought it kinda in the first month when it had been released. So the Submariner Namor was one of the guys that went to fight the Nazis on the comics with all good old Captain America and the Human Torch. So there's a little bit of history with that character by this stage with Marvel. Namor calling the behemoth that comes out from the ocean. Just amazing. Mr. Fantastic. Well, what else is there to be said, huh? Doctor Doom. I mean, look at the villains that we had. Mole Man, the Submariner, the Creed. I mean the Super Scroll, and I mean the Scroll, and then we've got the mighty Doctor Doom, which is like a Phantom of the Opera type of character, from what I remember hearing from them. I think he was another creator. It might have been John Byrne who said that he wanted to see that Doctor Doom just had a tiny little scar in his face, and he was so vain that that's why he hated it. And Jack wanted to make him like monstrous as it could be underneath that steel mask. Doctor Doom, so fun, so much fun. Okay, so this is starting to look more like your cemented Jack from the characterizations, just doing them slightly different to this. Mr. Fantastic. Even Sue Storm starting to look a little bit more like what I think of her, what's back in my brain, and Doctor Doom is Doctor Doom always. Pirate stories, this is awesome. So the joint forces. Namor's always doing suspicious activities. It's outstanding. The Atlantean Prince. It's outstanding. Look at what's happening in this story. Doctor Doom is elevating the Baxter building into the atmosphere. This is just crazy stuff. Absolutely outrageous good fun. And Namor's just naked in the vacuum of outer space, literally. He's like, yeah, I'm okay. Marvel when it was in Madison Avenue. Mr. Fantastic, the Human Torch, The Thing, Invisible Woman. Look at the robot designs. This is what Jack was so good at. And this perspective shots in a futuristic outer space city. Unbelievable. This is way before Mobius started doing this sort of thing. That's why Jack is the king. Outstanding. Just outstanding. And the dynamic way of drawing scenes, like you can see here, Ben's throwing out Johnny. I mean, the man's a master of composition. That's awesome. It's like explaining the powers that Johnny Storm has. See, this is how you build your characters. Like, if you want to create comics and you want to sort of build the lore and what the characters do, this is the sort of thing that you do for your audience. And people will just eat it up and be like, oh yeah, that's what Johnny Storm does. More Namor. Very expressive as well. Alright, I'm gonna speed things up. Look at these characters design, the monsters they're coming across. Outstanding stuff. Fighting wild dudes in jungles with crazy masks. It's this famous cover. So expressive. Doctor Doom's by far one of my favorite villains of all time. The whole notion of trying to become a warlord of the world is hilarious. This is an amazing collection to have this. A friend of mine was asking me, so why is there so much Namor? Because he's always trying to kidnap Sister. My friend said, oh, and that's awesome. This is beautiful. My goodness. Mr. Fantastic. More Namor. But I can't really remember if Namor's like the first mutant as well, because he's half human, half Atlantean. What a miss opportunity with Namor, huh? There we go. The Submariner. Good old Doctor Doom. Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Is this still Jack or what's going on here? Spider-Man always looked to me more of a man in a costume than a teenager. Ramatut. Wow, I forgot about that villain. That's an awesome villain too. It's an early version of the Watcher. Just outstanding. The Mole Man comes back. So here, I don't know who's inking this. G Bell. Things look a little bit more markerish on this. Still pretty effective, but now you can sort of see the BAM green is the current BAM green that we know. Mole Man looks more Mole Man now. Just outstanding. Sergeant Fury. Nick Fury. Doctor Strange. More namer shenanigans. Just outstanding stuff. Just outstanding. What a comic book series. The dreaded Diablo. Well, there it is. This is the last part of the Omnibus. Good old promotional material, stuff that maybe got redacted or got edited. Ah, cover by Alex Ross. That's nice. I could have never bought the cover with the Alex Ross cover, even though that I love Alex Ross for all the good stuff that he's done, and I love his work and everything. But I could have never bought that cover for the Omnibus. I could only get the one that Jack had made. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This was a Fantastic Four Volume 1 of the Omnibus. Please, once again, I'm thanking you all for your time, and have a lovely day. And please like and subscribe and all those good things. Till next time, bye-bye.